Well, in Florida now, 9% of the vote is in, and McCain and Romney, McCain with 34% of the vote, and Romney right behind. It looks with 30%. It looks like we're going to have a very interesting battle over this evening. I'm joined now by four of my favorite folks, political analysts and military analysts, certainly, here in New York. Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, New York Daily News, Michael Goodwin. Michael, syndicated columnist Miguel Perez. Miguel, good to have you with us, and one of the country's most distinguished former military commanders and Blue Times Tonight military analyst, General David Grange. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, and in Tennessee, I just want to say, Professor Carol Swain, I'm used to counting to 3, partner, and I just got, I'm overtaxing my intellect here tonight. Professor Carol Swain at Vanderbilt University, Professor Swain, Professor of Law and Political Science, also the editor of Debating Immigration, a very important book. And Professor, it is great to have you here.
Thank you.
You know what, I'm going to try to make amends by starting with you first.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I hope it has nothing to do with my age either, Carol. But the reality is we've got a very tight race here. Do you think that do you think the voters in Florida and Michigan should be disenfranchised?
No, of course not. We know how much attention that the Democrats have spent discussing the disenfranchisement of voters in Washington, D.C., and that's one of the core issues that they talk about voters and their right to vote and the democratic process. So you wouldn't expect them to be the party that would disenfranchise anyone. And
Rudy Giuliani has said, Professor Swain, that the winner of Florida wins the nomination. Do you agree?
No, not necessarily so.
All right. How about you, Michael?
I think she's right that it may not be determinative for the Republicans, because a close second by either McCain or Romney coming out of here keeps them both alive.
And as we look at these exit polls, one of the things that's, to me, absolutely fascinating, and I suppose expected, but also troubling, is the fact that the economy has supplanted the war in Iraq and its conduct as the #1 issue for voters in both parties. General Grange, what's your reaction?
Well, the thing about the war in regards to the economic conditions of the country is that it affects the economic conditions. I mean, war is expensive. And so you really have to tie it together. And I think it's important that the candidates talk about the war in relation to the other requirements, like a good economy, a healthy economy, and other issues.
It appears right now, Miguel, that John Edwards is going to run third with a significant victory for Senator Clinton in Florida. The import of that to the Edwards campaign, is it wise? Do you think to be expected he will continue to be the third man in this race?
Obviously, he's hoping for a brokered convention. There's a good chance, the way things appear right now, that we might have one, and he wants to be the kingmaker. He will have a good percentage of the delegates to be able to say, okay, it'll be Hillary or it'll be Obama. So that's what he's running for now. I don't know if he's looking to be the next vice president under one of those two, but he does have that power. He could have that power.
It looks a bit like Obama has said he doesn't want to be Senator Clinton's vice president, giving her the cold shoulder at the State of the Union address last night. Nearly everyone. I'm sorry, Carol?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the strongest ticket for the Democrats would be Edwards Obama, and for the Republicans, McCain, Huckabee, McCain, but they should all just pair up.
With that, we're going to come right back, Professor, with our panel. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to have the latest on today's high-stakes Republican primary. John King is in the CNN Election Center now, and as we watch those results come in, John, what are we all looking for?
Well, Lou, let's be emphasis first on what we do know so far, and they are very early results. Let's show you up on the board here. 10% of the vote counted in Florida, most of the polls closing at 7 o'clock, of course, with 10% of the vote counted. A very close race so far. Senator McCain leading in the early results, but again, very, very early on in the night, so don't put too much stock in that. What are we looking for? Senator McCain, Lou, if he is to win, needs to do very well down here, and as you can see, this is white. Miami, Dade County area, still no results in at all. McCain has to do very well here. He needs to do very well over here in the Tampa Bay area, where you have a high percentage of military veterans, and also up here in the Pensacola area. This is where John McCain learned to fly in the Navy. He's counting on the military veterans up in that area. Those areas in blue, key to John McCain. If you're Mitt Romney, you need to win down here in Southwest Florida. You see he's already running ahead in the early returns in Naples. He's down right now in Sarasota. That would be a troubling sign for the Romney campaign if that continues. But again, it is very, very early on. And the key conservative battleground for Mitt Romney, right up here in the Jacksonville area, Lou, you see he's already winning in the very early returns right around Jacksonville. But the people live here in the center of Jacksonville. That is critical. And right here in Orlando, this is a key area for Mitt Romney. He needs to run up some numbers right in the central part of the state. Orange County here, just below Orange County, Osceola County. This will be a key county to watch, perhaps the impact of the Mel Martinez endorsement. This is your non-Cuban Latino vote is centered right here in Osceola County. That is one of the places we will watch tonight. But Lou, it is very early on, as you can see. Most of the populous areas down here in the Miami area, over here in the Tampa, in Orlando as well, have yet to report. So a long night we expect ahead, and we'll watch these key areas as all goes on. Lou?
All right, John, thank you very much. John King, he'll be following the results very carefully with analysis for us throughout the evening here. Up next, we'll be back with more from our panel. Stay with us, and we'll have the results of that poll. Stay with us.
Mother Nature than the one she grows herself.
The touch, the feel of cotton, the fabric of our lives.
Fidelity is America's #1 IRA choice. It's because we give you free investment help. We don't charge IRA account fees, and we have more 4- and 5-star funds than any other company. Get your Fidelity IRA today. Come in or call 1-800-FIDELITY.
While America's oil and natural gas industry earns less than many others, we've reinvested more than $1 trillion since 1992. Part of an ongoing commitment using advanced technology to find new sources of energy while protecting our environment. We'll need 50% more oil and natural gas by 2030. And we're working to ensure reliable supplies of these vital resources to keep America going strong. Log on to learn more from the people who bring you oil and natural gas.
Have you seen my sunglasses?
The all-wheel drive Subaru Forester. With available stability control, it's earned an IIHS Top Safety Pick. In fact, it comes loaded with more awards than any other small SUV. The Subaru Forester, starting at just $21,195.
Right now, get $1,500 cash back and 2.9% APR financing on Forester.
We're back with Michael Goodwin, Miguel Perez, General David Grange, Professor Carol Swain. Miguel, you've been thinking about what you watched in that State of the Union address.
I was keeping count and taking notes of all the times that there were standing ovations, people sitting down, pretending to look interested, and it was amazing how divided this Congress is, and that's why they're not able to do anything. It was very clear from that speech and watching the reaction how the Republicans were giving the president standing ovations several times, and the Democrats were trying to, look twiddling with the booklet they were handling, trying to look busy. But it was very, very obvious that they don't agree on anything.
Your reactions?
Well, I think there should be some kind of unity of purpose when you're working in a government position and you're representing the American people. There's some things people should get together on for the better of this nation.
Oh, you mean like race, gender, all of the issues that are bubbling to the surface here, in some cases doing more than bubbling to the surface?
Well, I think that's what we all hope this election will bring, an end to the divisions and partisanship in Washington. And really, traditionally, that's what...
And how would that happen?
That's what elections are supposed to do, is they're supposed to end a fresh start, and people from both sides come together.
Professor Swain?
It just seems to me that I don't have a whole lot of hope that will happen with any of the candidates, because it's so ingrained, the types of behaviors that you can predict from Democrats and from Republicans. And it will take something to just really shake up the system, I believe, before we go beyond that. People have lost sense of a national interest and a reason to come together.
Miguel, watching the Hispanic vote issues and the Latino vote with the imprimatur of Senator Kennedy now, the impact for Obama.
I think it will have some impact, especially in California and out west with the Hispanic vote. Let's remember that the overwhelming majority of Latino elected officials have already very early on jumped on Senator Clinton's bandwagon. Right. And some of them are beginning to regret it now because Latino voters, a lot of them are for Obama. So the leadership wants one thing, and the voters, the Latinos, a lot of Latinos are supporting Obama. So now you got Kennedy jumping in, and the Kennedys have always had a tremendous following in the Hispanic community, and I think it will help Obama.
Miguel? I'm sorry, Michael. Miguel says that it's going to have an impact. Do you agree?
I do. I think the Kennedy endorsement is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think the notion of the establishment getting on the Obama train now makes it more than just a youth movement, makes it more than an insurgency. It makes it something real, something big. And don't forget, how important was Kennedy? It was important enough that the Clintons wanted it and fought against it. That's how important the Clintons saw it.
And we're looking at live pictures now of Senator Obama at a campaign rally in Kansas City. Professor Swain, you just heard what Miguel and Michael said. Your thoughts?
I think that Senator Kennedy's endorsement may help him with some voters, but it will hurt him in red states. And I also believe that if Senator Obama doesn't get the nomination, that there will be a low turnout probably among blacks, young people, Hispanics, that it won't be good for the party.
And David Grange, we give you the last word.
Well, I would just like to see some candidate represent the United States of America where we go to new heights, get to another stage of success. It's just very disappointing.
We thank you very much, gentlemen, and I think we all agree with you. The results of our poll tonight, 80% of you responding it is not appropriate that both the Republican and Democratic parties have disenfranchised voters in both Michigan and Florida. Thanks for being with us tonight. CNN special election coverage continues right now.